everybody, and welcome to episode 6 Journey with Sai. Today we are joined by the ever graceful Auntie Saras. Sai Ram, Auntie.
Sai Ram Kishani.
So, how has your day been today?
It's been good. It's been a busy day because I had to work and I was quite busy with many patients today.
Okay, Auntie. So, I believe that you come to the center for many years. It's been years that you've been coming to the center. So, just give us a glimpse of who is this Auntie Saras that we all know of.
Well, first of all, I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm also a grandmother now. And I believe that I am a very thoughtful person. And the reason I say that is because I think of others first before I think about myself. In all these years, I have done quite a bit of education, tuition, helping out, other people, the elderly, and I continue to do so. And in terms of my own personal hobbies, I actually love sewing. I love music as well. And I enjoy singing a little bit of the old songs. And I enjoy nature. So I do a bit of gardening. And yeah, so that's, in a nutshell, that's me.
It's amazing to know that you have done so many things in your life. And I really enjoy one part that you mentioned earlier, where you said that one of the things that you enjoy doing is giving back to others. And I feel in a lot of Swami's teaching, it's always all about giving back to people. And that is something that I think all of us can take from you as well. So coming back to Swami, I just wanted to know, how did you come about knowing Swami?
So when I was young, I remember my mother used to, the ladies from the village used to come and they will talk. And I remember listening to them saying Swami was God. So they used to say Sai Baba. So, and we had a picture of Swami in our lounge room at that time. All the deities will be, all the pictures will be in our lounge room. And amongst them was Swami's picture as well. It was a small picture, which was about, say, 20 by 30 centimeters. And since we were told he's God, so we also prayed to him. Soon after, we had a small temple outside our house. And all these photos were in that temple. And we started praying to Swami. We did not have the fortune of, following his teachings because it did not come to us. And this was in the 70s. So come 80s, I was, now fast forward, I was in Melbourne studying at university. And one of my best friends was a Sai devotee. Actually, it was just her and me at university. And she used to sit during break times and she would have vibhuti in her hand. And she would, put some on her forehead and, have some, lick some as well. And I believe that Swami was always there watching me, or just he was following me rather than me following him. So again, fast forward, I was now married in the 90s, and my husband was told about a Sai center in Melbourne, and he was told by his nephew. So my husband started going there, and at that time my children two boys were little, they were toddlers, and I did not go to the center, but I had this longing to go to the center. I had this yearning, and so I would wait, earnestly, but my husband will come and tell all these stories. So, one day I had a dream, and in the dream, it felt like Swami was physically present. And when I opened my eyes, I was shaking, and Swami, it felt like he was just standing there. I did go to the center eventually, but in that dream, he told me, you will come. So he, most of my dreams have been messages from Swami. So that's how I came to know him, and I never looked back. So we started going to the centers.
Yeah, it's amazing how you mentioned that, you were exposed at a very young age, and later on you were exposed during your teenage years, even though it seems to be that Swami came in different forms or different ways by different people for you. in your experience, and eventually it landed you of where you are today. Yeah, it's really nice to hear this kind of story. So with that being said, is there any profound memories that you have or teachings of Swami that you hold close to your heart till today?
There are many memories. Yes, I have quite a few experiences. Many of them have been in the form of dreams. That Swami has given me messages, and they have come true, and he's blessed me many times in dreams. But the first time we went to see Swami, now I just go back to the time when I was little, of course, when I was young, and we were. Another thing that I could hear my mom and the ladies talking, that Swami was so far away that when you go to see him, you will not be able to see him, close by. Remember, these were the days of 70s. And then I used to, in my heart, long for that. But I never knew that Swami would be so close to me. And the first time when we went,
It's okay.
it was, sorry,
Sorry for making you cry.
sorry, I didn't realize that it would get so emotional for me. So the first time that we as a family had made the decision to go to India, it was 2001, and the whole family, all the two children of mine, my husband, we went, and of course, in my heart, I was just yearning to see him, and I knew that he was God. To me, he was already my Swami. So when, of course, we arrived in India, and the very first time he comes for the darshan, and the music just goes on. We were told all these things because I had read about all these things. I knew what to expect, but nevertheless, you just don't know until you just see him in person. To me, this is so profound that when I saw him in person, of course, maybe the tears, maybe the feeling, I cannot describe it in words, but that's the most, important time in my life when I saw him first. When he came and he stood in front of the lady beside me, not in front of me, and he asked her, "Where are you from?" And I felt that, yes, he was asking me because he's God. So.
That's amazing, Auntie, and it's very heartfelt that I almost could feel your emotions as you were being emotional earlier. But I just wanted to ask you also, you mentioned that you followed Swami for the past few years. I mean, sorry, not for the past few years, but for a long part of your life. So was that the first time that you actually met him in person?
Yes, so I come from Fiji, and in Fiji, as I said, his teachings hadn't come in the 70s, but people were his devotees. So he, just being a devotee, and that was it for us. And so, we were only following, Swami as God. His teachings and all the other, things that Swami has now taught us in life, we were not following. So when we did, when it was time for us to go to see him, yes, that was the first time. Because in my dreams, in my, understanding, people like us, we thought we will never see Swami. Yeah. And that is why seeing God in human form, seeing him in person, that was the first time, was just, just mind-blowing for me.
That's amazing. Yeah. So if you don't mind me asking, Auntie, do you have any vivid dreams that you could maybe share with us? As you mentioned, you have had a lot of dreams about him before you met him in person. So is there any dreams that you would like to share with us that, stood out for you?
Okay, I'll share one dream that I had. I'm also a SSC teacher. So been doing a lot of course, apart from teaching, we do a lot of practices with the children. Any time that we would find, the children would do dramas, during birthdays and during all the other functions. And one of the times that we did this practice was Melbourne Cup Day that we live here. We took advantage of that public holiday, and all the children, we practiced a drama. And in that evening, that night, I had a dream. And Swami, and this practice actually was for his birthday. So Swami, of course, we were seated almost like in a bhajan hall. Everywhere there were lots of people, and just like you, how you will wait patiently for Swami to come. Everyone was waiting, and as he walked, everyone had their hands out, and that was, he was giving out vibhutis. And mine, I don't remember putting my hands out, but I saw that in the dream, he only put vibhuti on my hand. And what he said to me was, you deserve this. And that to me was so important in my life that, you know, he validated what I was doing. And since then, again, I'm quite dedicated to teaching the children. So that dream of mine was very important to me.
That's very nice, Auntie. So speaking of children, Auntie, like you mentioned, you teach the children. I want to go back to something that is close to you, which is your own children, I would say.
Okay.
As you mentioned that you got your children and your husband and everyone has been very actively involved in the Sai community. And I think some of your children also take part in the musical part of the Sai community as well. So I just wanted to ask you, how did you as a parent impart Sai's teaching into your parenting style or even to your children as they were growing up?
Okay. Since we were attending Sai Center from from the children being very young, my Vishal, the younger one, was actually born, and the older one was 3 years old. I couldn't go to the center at that time because thinking they were very young. I was new to the center, and that, you know, how being boys, we were thinking that they will not sit quietly. So I stayed back. And when eventually I did go, because my husband, they were a bit older, somebody introduced us to the SSC classes. Now, remember, my Vishal was still young, so I used to sit with him in the class. This was, you know, in the group that he was, and with the teachers. I used to sit there, and I would, of course, observe the teachers teaching. And in the center itself, that's how all the teachings came about, that they will, you know, these were the initial days when they would make certain announcements, talk about Swami's miracles, and that's how we got to know a lot about Swami himself. And this is how, being the family unit, we all attended the center together, and we all, you know, imbibed his values in the home. So, of course, I believe that that is so important. And all my children started attending SSC classes, and later on in the youth group, and they follow Swami's teachings, and we all very much follow his teachings, and we practice that as well.
That's very good, Auntie. It's very nice to see like how you have imparted that to your children and to the generations to come, because I feel that Swami has instilled a lot of good values and are things that we can impart to our future generation as well. Auntie, you've held multiple leadership positions in the Sai organization. And I believe that you were also the National Women Coordinator, the Center President, and also the Regional President. So I just wanted to know, what are some of the values that you feel that you have used from Swami's teaching into your leadership positions?
Well, basically with the women and with the household, as I said, you know, it all starts from home. So it's very important. Most of the one of the values that I believe in is love. You know, that's the fundamental of Swami's teachings. Of course, all the values that Swami has taught us is love and nurturing. And basically, it all starts from home. So love and nurturing at home, and the compassion that we need to have for each other, the thoughtfulness. So that all binds together, whether it was teaching the children, whether it was leading the ladies, or whether it was running the centers. When I thought the positive effects of, you know, talking to Sai devotees or people outside, the love was the main value that I practiced, and I imbibed with others as well. So, and there were other values that comes with it, as we know, it all binds together. But I feel that the home is the basis of love as well.
Auntie, what I really admire about you is something that I almost feel like how you just said, how you impart compassion and love in every way as possible. I feel as people who come to meet you as well, we can almost feel that love that comes out of your heart because you're always so warm and so welcoming whenever you meet all of us. So, how you mentioned how love begins at home, like how they also mentioned charity begins from home. So I think that is something that we can all take from you today of how love begins from home. On the note of charity begins from home, Auntie, I just want, Swami speaks a lot about doing service to others.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know, what is your take about service?
Yep, service is actually close to my heart. And that is something I always wanted to do. I remember when I was young, I told my mom that I wanted to do something for the people. And she used to say, gee, you have got great ambitions. Anyway, fast forward, through Swami's teachings, I have learned doing seva, and we've always done a lot of things, but one of the things that I actually engage in and I do is I involve with the medical camps, going overseas, and with a team of doctors and nurses, and we go to the remote islands, remote villages, and we render medical services to these people who need it most. So I believe in service. I believe in doing things for others, and it actually started with the fact that 20 years ago, when this organization started, that back in Fiji, I wasn't in the profession that I am now, and I thought you had to be one to be doing this service. I didn't know God had His ways, and eventually, when I became a nurse, I started doing this service and going out in the communities to help these people. And there are other forms of service that I do as well.
That's amazing, Auntie. So, Auntie, based on your stories, I believe that you started off as a chemist, as a profession, and later on moving to being a nurse. I believe that Swami has had a major influence in that decision, I would say. I just wanted to ask you, as a profession, being a nurse, how do you use Swami's teachings in your profession daily as a nurse?
Definitely. I think one of the things that comes to mind, and everyone will agree with, is compassion and the care that we provide. In fact, I will say I'm a palliative nurse, and which is one of where patients are in terminal phase, mainly in terminal phase, at the end of their lives. It could be as long as 1 year that they have, got left, or it could be as low as or as less as few days or few hours. And compassion, and not just to the patient but to the families as well. So that's something that I love doing, that I follow, and that comes to me. I hope that it comes naturally, and that's my profession, and I do that every day when I go to work. Of course, I am compassionate with other people as well, but in my profession, that's what I've been doing.
That's lovely, Auntie, and I really admire that about you. At work, Auntie, I'm sure you face many challenges. Just wanted to ask you, Auntie, have you used any or imparted any of Swami's teachings or values into those times?
Yeah, sure. Since, as I said, this is end of life for patients, and of course, families have a very difficult time accepting end of life, accepting death. And for some of us, it may be okay, but for others, it can be very difficult. And they don't know sometimes how to handle it. And we are the forefront of, talking to the families, talking to families who have gone through difficult times. So it's actually, one of the things that comes to mind is, it is Swami's teachings, but in Bhagavad Gita, there is the Kurukshetra war where Lord Krishna and Arjuna are having a conversation. In fact, where Arjuna, in chapter 2, Arjuna is faced with, going and having a battle with his
cousins,
relatives.
Yeah.
So what Lord Krishna says is, the Atma, never dies. And so that is something that I use in my at workplace. And I remember that, according to Lord Krishna, he says that the soul never dies. It's the body that dies. Now, I will say that that is my teaching, and I do work in a Western, country, and so everyone's understanding is different. It is sometimes difficult to put that across to people who follow different religions and different beliefs. But at the end of that life, sometimes we do talk about, their spirituality and their beliefs. And I use Swami's teachings in a loving manner to, explain to them this is okay, that they will be fine. This is not the end of, this is just the body, changing. The soul remains as it is. As I said, it is eternal. So I try to talk to the patients in this manner.
That's lovely, Auntie. So speaking about teachings, Auntie, I'm pretty sure over the past years, you've learned so much about Swami's teachings over the years, whether it's through your experience or through your reading or your spirituality. I just wanted to know, Auntie, being youths of today, do you have any advice for us through Swami's teachings that you can impart to us?
Yeah, sure. I have children who are youths. As I said, family values are very important. But I'm also a professional, and I believe that youths of today should be, educated. The skills are very important. And but the first thing about Swami's teachings, I think it's important that you be a great listener, that you develop good communication skills. It is important in today's times. Make sure that you have, great technical skills, because times are changing. It is not like what it used to be in those days, where you could, it's not about the gender. It is more about who you are. So in life, it is important to stand up on your own feet. Boys, girls, whoever it is. I say that with a great confidence because I did that in my life. Our mother was the one who taught this to us, to stand on your own feet. And so I say this to the youngsters as well. And be respectful. But also something else that comes to mind is, make sure you choose your friends carefully. Swami says, tell me who you are, and I'll tell you who you are. Because it's the company you keep that makes you who you are. So I think it's important for youngsters to, follow Swami's teachings, and follow his values.
Thank you, Auntie. I think I will definitely take some notes on that and impart that. So, Auntie, this year is a big year, 100 years of Swami. That's a huge milestone. I just wanted to ask you, Auntie, throughout these years of having Swami in your presence in your life, has there been any profound moments that you almost felt his presence in your life?
Yeah, sure. Just about Swami's 100th, if I can say that it feels it feels great, but it also feels a bit sad because Swami is not with us, and it is his life, that we are celebrating, not just that moment in time. That's what I believe. So we should have been celebrating his life, his teachings that he has, given to us. So having said that, yes, there has been a few profound moments in my life where I felt he has been there. He's been guiding me, and his presence was important to me. One such time was I had a small medical issue that I have been having after actually I became a nurse. And so I made the decision, because I went to the doctor and he advised me, okay, I should go for a small procedure. But this procedure would pose a few risks. And but I decided, no, I will do it. But when you are in your 50s, they consider you considered young. So I thought, no, I'll go for it. On the day of the surgery, I went for it. It happened when I woke up. The surgeon had not performed that surgery. Now, remember, it was a private hospital. I paid all the money. And I say that in a nice way because I was really prepared for this. And so this surgeon, though, was going to retire soon after, what he had done with my operation. So I knew all this. And the nurse told me, everything is fine, but he did not perform this operation. Instantly, there's this anger actually came to my mind. And I was like, can I talk to the doctor? And she did go away, came back after a few minutes, and she told me, no, he's left this note. He has actually gone for the day, and this other doctor will follow up with you. And I was like, I do want to talk to him. Can you call him? But she tried, and I know what goes on a little bit, having worked in the hospitals. It didn't happen. And so life went on. I can say that medical issue, slowly, I was healing. It was getting better for me. And in fact, until recently, I was thinking that was a time when I'm sure I thank Swami for it, because he was there guiding the surgeon not to do this. And I thank Swami for it, because if he had done the operation, there could have been few risks for me. And to me, that is a very significant moment in my life. And I know Swami is the doer. He was performing the operation, or was not performing, but he was there. So that's very important to me personally.
That's very moving, Auntie. I think that's something that a lot of us need to realize. Sometimes at that moment we feel that we need something, but it's something. Sometimes we feel that we need that certain thing, but it may not be what Swami wants for us.
Exactly.
And sometimes it takes time or for us to realize those kind of things.
True.
Auntie, another thing that I really enjoy whenever you come to the center is whenever you sing a bhajan for Swami. If you don't mind, Auntie, could you sing few lines of the bhajan for us?
Yeah, sure. I do love singing, but I sing for my Swami. And I did say that love was the essence of, the teachings that I have imbibed of Swami. So one of the first bhajans that I sang was Prema Se Bolo Ek Baar Sai Ram. I'll just sing a few lines.
Yeah,
it's been
sure.
a while. प्रेम से बोलो एक बार साई राम, प्रेम से बोलो एक बार साई राम, हे राम जय जय राम, हे राम जय जय राम, बोलो राम साई राम, बोलो राम साई राम.
Thank you, Auntie. That was so lovely and really mesmerizing. And that is one of the reasons I really enjoy hearing you every time you sing in the center. And I think it was a perfect way for us to end the session here today. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Sai Ram.